we go. Make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old.
Hello my Mandarins, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. So today, as you guys can tell from the title below, I'm going to be showing you guys some DIY gifts for Mother's Day. I know this is a very last minute video, but this is for you very last minute people like myself who are last minute gifters. I will seriously flat out admit that I am really bad with last minute stuff. So all of these DIYs are pretty generic for the most part, so it doesn't really fit to any particular type of mom because, let's be real, all moms are different and special in their own way. Before we get started with this video, as always guys, make sure to go follow me on social media if you would like to keep up with me outside of YouTube. It's gonna be right here. And so we don't drag this intro for too long, let's just go ahead and jump right into these DIYs. For the very first gift idea, flowers are always a go-to, but with this DIY customizable flower pot, your mom is going to love this. So taking a clay flower pot, I'm just spray painting it any color I wanted, decided to go with white. Then taking some photos of my mom and I just made them into black and white using Microsoft Word, printed them out and cut them out with a white border. Then taking the photos, I'm taking a little bit of Mod Podge and putting it onto the back of the photo, then pressing it very lightly onto the flower pot. After you press the photo onto the flower pot, you're going to put a very thin layer of Mod Podge over top of each photo. This is going to make sure your photo is sealed onto your flower pot and doesn't come off. And also it leaves a really nice finish, especially if you're using a gloss finish. And after you put all your photos on your flower pot, that is basically it for this DIY. I definitely recommend planting your flowers in your pot before you add the photos on. The next DIY is this Scrabble inspired picture frame, which is super adorable, straight from Pinterest. So to recreate this DIY, all you're going to need is a thin piece of wood, and a cutting mat would be super helpful. This makes it really easy to cut out perfect squares. So I ended up using an X-Acto knife at first to cut out little squares from this strip of wood, but then I ended up going to scissors. And this is why using a very thin piece of wood, which I got from the craft store, is super easy to use. So after you cut out I used 39 of these squares, cut out extra just to be safe. I am taking them and adding a letter onto each and a number in the bottom right corner, just like any ordinary Scrabble piece. So to spell out mother, I used colored marker, and for the other words, I used black, so that in the end, your arrangement should look like this. So now taking a piece of construction paper, I'm basically laying out all of my little Scrabble pieces the way that I would like them to be, then gluing them down. And after I have done that, I'm just taking this picture frame and removing the photo of the random family that I bought with this picture frame. Really strange, right? So now taking these Scrabble pieces, I'm putting them into the picture frame, putting the backing on and making sure the closures are nice and tight so nothing comes apart. And that is basically it for this. I think this is so adorable and a very simple gift to give mom. And the last DIY is to make you and your mom some matching necklaces. Girl, I don't know, I think this is a really cute idea. For this DIY, you are going to need a couple of these tiny little glass jars with the cork in the top. I found these at my local craft store. Then taking an eye pin, I am just trimming it down so that it's a little shorter. Then taking some Gorilla Glue or any kind of super glue that you guys prefer to use, you're going to take your eye pin, dip it in the glue, then press it into the top of the cork of your glass jar. This is going to make sure that everything stays together and you basically have a small pendant. So when you remove the cork from the jar, all you're going to do is take little tiny beads and add them on the inside. You can use any color you want. You can have the same color as your mom, you can have a different color as your mom. I decided to go with pink and white in the end. After you have done that, all you're going to do is take your little glass jar pendant, add it onto a jump ring that is attached to a necklace chain, close up the jump ring, and that is basically it on how to make these necklaces. They're super easy and perfect for last minute if you're really short on time for getting a gift for mom. Not to mention, you and your mom are going to be twinning. That it for today's DIY Mother's Day gifts video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it and found this helpful. Please make sure to give this video a big ol' thumbs up. That would help me out a lot. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button below to become a part of the DIY Mandarin fam if you aren't already. And as always, I love you guys so incredibly much. You guys are amazing and I love you. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!